you're in your 20s, ignore everything you know about credit cards and do what I'm about to share with you. Don't waste your time building loyalty with a credit card issuer or bank. For the record, Chase absolutely sucks for young people. How do I know this? It's because I currently bank with the 4 major credit card issuers. You've likely been given advice to just play it conservatively and start out by applying for Chase cards and slowly build a relationship with Chase. That's what your parents used to do. Let's be real, credit card issuers and banks are borderline evil. They have no issue charging you 25 to 30% in interest fees, while they're happy to pay you much less than 1% on your savings. In Chase's case, they pay out 0.01%. That's 0%. Folks, that's criminal. So your one and only goal should be to get as much value from them as possible without giving away your hard-earned money. I'm gonna give you a list of cards that you should absolutely own now while you're still in your 20s, and why you should stay away from others until you've matured enough financially and can take advantage of them when the time is right. Here are my 2 rules when it comes to credit cards. Number 1, never waste money paying annual fees on credit cards. If you do, it just needs to be marginal, but you must get tons of values from such cards. Ignore flexing with gold and platinum cards with use cases that don't apply to you. I run a credit card channel and I pay lots of fees on credit cards, but I assure you that I get full value from my cards to make the annual fees effectively $0. Plus, I have a lot of spend to extract lots of upside from the cards. Number 2, don't waste money paying banking fees. Banking fees result when you're unable to maintain a predetermined minimum balance dictated by a bank. Banks make money by lending your money to borrowers. So why in the world would you pay them a fee when they're using your funds for their own gain? If you ask me, they should be paying you a fee for lending your money out. So with those 2 rules in mind, here are my card recommendations for those in their 20s embarking on their credit card journey. You should covet and create a plan to acquire these 3 cards. The American Express Blue Cash Preferred with an effective annual fee of $4. The Bilt Mastercard, which has a $0 annual fee. And the Capital One savorone, which also has a $0 annual fee. Let's get into the multipliers. What does that mean? It means that for every dollar spent on the card in a given category, apply the multiplier, which will equate to the amount of points or cashback you will earn. I'll mention all the multipliers and check off the ones you need to care about. Card number 1, American Express Blue Cash Preferred. This is a rockstar cashback credit card. There's an annual fee of $95 a year. But let me tell you how to get that down to $4. This card offers $7 a month or $84 a year in cashback credits towards Disney Plus and a Hulu subscription valued at $9.99 a month. We're then left with an $11 effective annual fee. If you're in your 20s, you need Disney Plus and Hulu. You earn 6% cashback on streaming. If we apply this 6% cashback to the $9.99 per month subscription for Disney Plus and Hulu, we'll realize another $7 off for the year, which will reduce the effective annual fee to $4. You'll also earn 6% cashback at US grocery stores. And that's up to a maximum of $6,000, which averages $500 a month. If you're in your 20s, you also need some vegetables. You also earn 3% cashback on transit. This feature is simply impressive as this transit category includes trains, subways, ferries, taxis, buses, ride shares like Uber and Lyft, tolls, and parking. I think that covers every type of transit. Unless you're going to work in a helicopter. Wait, hold on, they probably have helicopters. Oh, no. I checked, no helicopters. You also earn 3% cashback on gas. And lastly, 1% cashback on all other purchases. This card currently has a bonus offer of $250 in statement credits after spending $3,000 in your first 6 months. That averages $500 a month. I recommend that you start with this card and stick around, that'll make sense a little later. Card number 2, Bilt Mastercard. I'll mention all the multipliers and check off the ones you need to care about. 3x points on dining, 2x points on travel, 1x points on rent, and 1x points on everything else. Double the above multipliers on the first of each month, except for the rental category, which is fixed at 1x. This card should be used as your rent and dining card. Please be sure you achieve the 5 minimum Bilt transactions per billing period, else you'll forfeit your points for that period. If you're ever falling short of the required 5 transactions, use it for micro purchases at CVS or Walgreens. The rent feature is crazy awesome. And by the way guys, this is the only card on the market as of today that lets you earn points on rent without a transaction fee. Bilt provides you with an account number and a routing number that you may use to pay rent, while earning Bilt points equal to your rental payment. It gets better. If your landlord is old school and prefers a check, Bilt will mail a check to your landlord on your behalf as you earn the points. So what happens if your Bilt credit limit is $5,000, your rent is $3,000, and you've already charged up $2,500 in expenses for the month? That only leaves you with $2,500 remaining, which doesn't cover your rent. Bilt has you covered. It offers a feature called Bilt Protect, which pulls the rental amount from your linked bank account while leaving your credit limit fully intact. But yet you still earn Bilt points on the full rental amount. Using Bilt Protect, you're using your bank account to pay your rent and still earning valuable Bilt points. It doesn't get any better than that. I'm not gonna get into point transfers in this video, just let your Bilt points accumulate. Card number 3, Capital One Savorone. This is one of the best no annual fee cards on the market. However, given that I'm recommending that you use these cards as a system, this card now becomes your entertainment and your Uber and Uber Eats card. Here are the multipliers. 3% on dining, supermarkets, and streaming. But I've already shown you that we have those categories covered by the previous 2 cards. 3% on regular entertainment like movies, amusement parks, etc. 8% on Capital One entertainment. If you want to score early opportunities to land concert tickets, you're going to want to check out Capital One Entertainment once you own this card. The Savorone is currently offering 0% interest on all charges through November 2024. You'll also earn 10% on Uber and Uber Eats also through November 2024. You'll also get a free Uber One account through November 2024, which means no delivery charges. And the Savorone is currently offering $200 to $300 as a new sign-up bonus after spending $500 in the first 3 months. So here's a quick summary of the 3 cards that I recommend to everyone in their 20s. American Express Blue Cash Preferred. This is your groceries, streaming, transit, and gas card. The Bilt Mastercard. This is your dining and rent card. And Capital One Savorone. This is your entertainment card and everything Uber. Now let's turn our attention to banking, and you'll see why I recommend the American Express Blue Cash Preferred first. You're young, you're used to online, there's no need for you to go into a physical bank. You are 21st century kids, and this is the 21st century. It's online banking all the way. With that said, I recommend that you bank with American Express. I bet most of you are saying, bank with American Express? I bet you none of you have heard this. Yes, that's what I'm saying, and here's why. In order to open an Amex checking and savings account, you must have already opened a credit card with them. So go apply to the Amex Blue Cash Preferred ASAP. Once you have the card, open the following 2 bank accounts with Amex. The first is American Express Rewards Checking. There are no fees and no minimum balances. If you're in your 20s, you're still making your way and you're trying to build up that savings account. Under no circumstances should you pay a fee because you dip below a threshold. Amex presents a pathway for you to grow your funds as you see fit without worrying about fees. This checking account features 1% APY. Chase is currently offering 0.01% APY. Can we please take a minute and just let that sink in? Amex's checking is offering 100 times more value than Chase's as it relates to earned interest. In reality, you're likely not going to maintain a large balance in your checking account. But the point remains that you don't want to start out banking with Chase because they get all the value. This checking account earns you 1 Amex MR points for every $2 spent. Imagine swiping your Amex debit card and earning very valuable MR points. This one is a solid perk. I always recommend using credit cards to make purchases. But if there's a use case where you must use your debit card, this is the card to use, and here's why. You get purchase protection against accidental damage or theft for up to 90 days from the date of purchase. Imagine cracking your new Pixel, iPhone, or Galaxy within the first month, but you remain calm about it because you know that you purchased it with your Amex debit card, and they have got you covered. Now onto American Express Rewards Savings. Again, no fee nor minimum balances. It currently features a 4.3% APY, which is first rate relatively speaking for a big bank. Keep in mind that this is peanuts compared to the 25 to 30% in interest that they're gonna charge you if you carry a balance on one of their credit cards. Again, banks are greedy and will aid the undisciplined among us to go bankrupt as they become unable to climb out of credit card debt. American Express and Capital One currently have the same 4.3% APY on their savings accounts. Given that I bank heavily with Amex, I will use Capital One to demonstrate my point against Chase, because I have similar balances in each of those two accounts. I parked $15,000 in both Chase and Capital One as shown here. In the month of September, I earned a whopping 14 cents with Chase, but earned $53 with Capital One. My point here is not to leave money on the table. These benefits just add up over time. If I were to maintain each account around $15,000 monthly, I can expect to earn over $636 in 12 months with Capital One and less than $2 with Chase. Of course, this assumes that Capital One's APY will hold for the next 12 months, but you get my point. Just be prepared to be flexible and adjust as need be. So just to be clear, I do my primary banking with American Express, but I'm using Capital One in this illustration with Chase because I have similar balances with these two banks. I hope you understand why I recommend that young people should choose American Express for banking and not Chase. If you're wondering why I also bank with Chase, it's because I have a business and I like to have access to decent credit lines. I currently bank with Amex as my primary bank, as well as Citi, Capital One, and Chase. But if you're starting out, I recommend Amex banking all the way. Just remember, it's online banking. If I can do it as my primary bank, so can you. So let's add these two banking accounts to our summary. I hope I've made the case why this 3-card system plus Amex banking is a great starter setup. I say no to Chase as a starter system until they offer more value for folks in their 20s. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help bring visibility to this young channel. Take care and be good to each other.